Welcome back to another episode from the survival world. Today is gonna be a bit of a different episode because I've been building a lot and I wasn't really able to record while building because I built this really complicated redstone thing and I kind of refused to just copy a design from someone, so I tried to design it myself to work. It's not completely finished, I still have a good bit of work to do. But I said I'm gonna record what I have right now just to kind of show you guys what's going on here. Starting with the gold farm that you've pretty much seen in the previous episode. I have the boat over here, I have the chest like it used to be here. I did add 2 extra hoppers to the side so the chest will get full a bit quicker and all the items would drain much quicker from this, so nothing would despawn. Then I built an automatic sorter over here that basically sorts every single item that goes through that, and I actually made a few auto crafters over here. So this one over here will convert every single gold nugget into a gold ingot. It's gonna go into this pot, which is just here to create less lag, and then all the gold ingots would go into this one and they would create gold blocks. So I do have 16 gold blocks. I had a few more, but I was trying to kind of get a few piglins, so I had to use some of it. So everything gets sorted into these chests below here. I am still debating if I want to increase the storage slightly, but I guess I will see. So we have gold blocks over here, rotten flesh over on the first 3 chests over here, I believe, because I do want to try to get a villager over here, or maybe even more, and actually get some emeralds like this, because some clerics would be really handy to have, especially with the amount of rotten flesh that I'm getting from this farm. And then the last 2 chests are actually no filters on them. This is where all the swords are going through. And I'm debating that once I manage to get a proper fuel source, I might actually do something and smell these swords and then put them over into the crafter again and recycle everything and have even more gold. I was originally thinking to use some kind of coal farm or something that I'm going to be building somewhere else and then bring the fuel over here. But now that I'm thinking about this, I could in theory build some kind of automatic bamboo farm because I don't need water for that to be working. So I could be doing that and then straight away make this work like it's supposed to. I do have a good bit of space around this storage system if you really think about it. This one would actually go down, so that's the highest that goes. So I could in theory do something with this and then add some droppers or whatever to recycle everything back into the chest so the gold nuggets would flow into this. If you want to have a look, this is pretty much what the redstone looked like. In case you have any questions, do let me know down in the comments and I can definitely explain it a bit more in the next episode if you're interested. And then for the second part of this, which is why I try to convert all this, is going to be the bartering farm, which I really wanted to build for a very long time. And you can hear a lot of noises from these guys over here. It took me absolute ages to get them because they just wouldn't spawn. It was just the zombified piglins that spawned here, and these were really rare. And I also had to make sure that they grab an item because I had a few that didn't and they just despawned when I left. So what I have over here, I'm gonna go back around and show you how this works. This is basically a circuit that I will drop all my gold ingots into this chest over here. Then there is a clock behind here that will detect whenever this dropper has anything inside. It will activate this clock and then it will spit gold ingots onto that glass block over there, which are pretty much in reach of these piglins to grab them. So it's kind of a easy system that you can do that doesn't require anything too complicated, and the ingots are kind of spit out slowly so they're able to grab them and no ingots would actually sit here to despawn. And then I have a circuit over here that detects the same dropper if there's anything inside, and that will trigger this loop over here that triggers both the piston, up here, which makes sure that no items are actually getting stuck on that iron bar that I have the piglins sitting on. Because when I designed this in creative, it took me a good few hours and I noticed that actually some of the items would get stuck on it. So this piston just kind of triggers every now and again, pushing the items off. They would pretty much fall down here on this obsidian. This piston with the slime block will push them off, and they would be sent over here in front of this piston. If we go into camera mode, I think it's a bit easier to show you what's going on here. So basically the items will drop from the piglins on this obsidian block. Slime block pushes it over here and then gets aligned with this chest. This slime block pushes everything, and then everything gets slid on this ice and will be distributed on these chests over here. For this system over here, basically there's just a redstone with a repeater that creates a clock that triggers both of these pistons. This one triggers first, this one triggers second, just to make sure that no items actually get stuck. So they will push onto the chests, this will push over to the ice. And then what's actually remaining to do over here, I will have to do an extra sorting system because I don't want all the items to just be random. I just want to make sure that I know where they are when I need them. So I have, I think it's like a 16 or 17 long channel over here. So each of these hoppers, except the last 3, I believe, would have one specific item in them. I did do a bit of trading with the piglins, so this is what I got from, I believe, 32 ingots if I'm not mistaken. I managed to get a dried ghast, so we definitely can get a few more happy ghasts. The things that I'm most excited about is definitely the quartz. I am getting some iron, which is decent enough, I suppose, even though my iron farm is pretty good. I'm getting some fire resistant potions, so I don't have to worry about doing anything. And I'm getting a lot of obsidian, nether bricks, and blackstone, which are gonna be really good to actually build things that I want to build further down into the world. And I'm also getting a lot of gravel, which I'll definitely have to use when I'm gonna start to building concrete. I do believe that I am still missing some items. I believe they actually give string ender pearls, which are gonna come in really handy because I won't have to build an ender farm way too soon. And I also think I'm gonna be able to get some soul speed boots. Other than that, I'm not too sure that I would need anything, but I guess I'll see after I trade a bit more gold and I sort everything. So let's try to test this and see if it works. I actually have to jump down because I am not able to do this properly. I don't really have a way from there to here because I'm not really supposed to be there. Even though I will have to make some kind of way to the storage system, but I think I'm just gonna expand the scaffolding over to that side. So let's grab some of this gold. Let's do 8 blocks. And then we're gonna do this much. We will drop everything into here. I'm gonna go into camera mode just so you guys see how easy this actually is. So you can see the gold being spit out there. They're dropping their items. And then all the items are actually getting dropped over here. So you can see them dropping down there, getting pushed. So you're not gonna be able to see too much over here until all these actually get full. But if we're gonna wait here for a few minutes, we're definitely gonna see all the items sliding past a bit further down. So I'm really excited to build the full storage system and to see all these items piling up. So for the moment, I think this is a really good farm for my needs currently. In the future, whenever I feel like it's gonna have to happen, I might actually build a more powerful gold farm, and I'm just gonna build this whole thing to maybe go into shulker boxes or stuff like that. But I think we're pretty far away from building a shulker farm. So I do think that everything is been done now. So I did notice that some of the items don't actually get pushed. So I did add an override button over here that basically triggers a few more times just to make sure that no items are actually being left off there. I'm considering to maybe add a pressure plate here instead of that lever. Maybe it would be easier to just step on it and that's it, rather than having to like jump down there. So if I do go down here now, let's see how far did any of these items go actually. So there's nothing in these chests. So there's definitely not a lot of items, but then again, I don't have a lot of gold either. So I'm gonna empty these and then I'm gonna drop them into the chest and we're gonna see what kind of duplicates do we have. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I already have, but there's also things that I didn't have, which is really nice to see. So let's drop absolutely everything into this chest. I think that would be it. So we did get some extra fire resistance potions, so we do have the splash and the normal ones, which in theory I could just extend to make them even better. We got a Soul Spree 3 book, which is really good. We got 50 quartz. That's pretty decent. Some spectral arrows, some bricks again, and some soul speed boots, which are not necessarily good for anything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start working on the storage system. I need to go chop a lot of wood because I definitely will need a lot of chests because I need a lot of hoppers, and I will definitely need to go trade for a good bit of redstone because I don't think I have enough for all the comparators and repeaters that I need. And I'm really considering to make a witch farm because trading redstone with the villagers, it's really slow. And I don't think my raid farm produces enough redstone either. So I'm gonna have to see if I want to do a witch farm maybe soon enough. Oh, and something that I don't know if I showed in the last episode, maybe I did. I got a chest over here that has some snowballs, so like that it's a bit easier to start the farm. Because just shooting arrows just wasn't working. So it's gonna be really loud. But my pickaxe gets repaired so fast that it's insane how good the farm is. And it's so easy to build, so I'm really happy that I actually spent the time to do it. So I'm gonna be swinging over here a bit longer. Probably gonna grab some of the rotten flesh, get it over at the village, get some extra emeralds, try to get some redstone. Maybe I'll even head over to the raid farm to see if I can get some more redstone that way. And I'm gonna finish the sorting system over here, and then I'll bring you guys back to show how the whole thing looks like. I will show you how it looks like right now if you go into camera mode currently. I'm probably gonna tear this down. This is where the platform was, where I was actually trying to get the piglins from. So I can probably remove this, probably remove that walkway, and try to figure out some kind of better thing over here. Maybe I'll drop the chests even lower just to make sure that all the rotten flesh is collected, because 2 double chests is not really a lot of rotten flesh if you think about it. And then that's how the redstone looks like around the back. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So there's me getting all that XP. Like you can see, actually there's a lot of XP. If I keep swinging over here, every time they get close to me, I will get so much XP that at one point it actually gets stuck and it's kind of just running around me because I'm not able to pick it up so quick. Obviously it won't happen now that I said something about it, but regardless of it, the farm is working, so I'm gonna go back to work and finish that storage system. So this over here actually took a very long time to do because I needed to gather a good few resources, and you've seen there that I've been over at the raid farm, out of which I managed to get a decent amount of redstone. I managed to get a good few emeralds as well, so I can trade for more redstone if I really have to. So in the end, the raid farm is actually a better choice than trying to trade with the villagers, especially now that I don't really have all the villagers that I need. So this kind of makes it a bit more of a priority to get a few more villagers sorted, so I can trade a bit faster. And I also have a really cool idea that I wanted to try for a very long time, and I've never actually done it. I think I've seen a few people doing it, but not at the scale that I'm kind of thinking about doing it. So I'm really excited, and maybe I'll be able to do this in the next episode. So stick around for that and you'll find out exactly what I mean. And to show you exactly what this is, well, this is a storage system obviously. But I managed to kind of split the items into what I think it's optimal and ideal, so I don't really lose any items. And this is pretty much the furthest that piston pushes the items. So I actually had this ice further down. but all the items would just stop here. So I decided that there's no point to go further if the items won't get there. I would be able to maybe do something over here where I can put a piston to push that way if I really wanted to extend this, but I don't really think I have to. I think at the moment the items go pretty much next to where this sorter ends. So this is the last item that I'm sorting over here, and then over in these there's nothing, so the items are just going through. So I have about 2-3 filters for all the items that I think they're more beneficial. So I have 3 of them for quartz, I think 3 of them for blackstone, 3 for gravel, I think I have 2 for nether brick, 1 for soul sand, 1 for leather, 1 string, crying obsidian, regular obsidian, some fire charges because I definitely want to do something with explosive fireworks further down the line. I have the dried ghasts, so we're gonna be able to get a lot of happy ghasts. Then some spectral arrows. I don't really know where I would use this, but I'm thinking maybe I can do some kind of farm that would be really cool with that. And the last one is some iron nuggets. And if I go over here, let's see where this ends. So this ends pretty much over on this side. So you can see that everything else gets dropped into here. You can't really sort ender pearls easily, and they're not that many to be worth sorting. And something that I notice is that I might want to add an extra filter for the iron nuggets because they do drop quite a few at the same time, and because there's already 41 into this, the hopper won't be able to accept much more. So anything that goes over the 1 stack will just get dropped into this chest over here, as you've seen on this one. And there's also a few in here. So there were clearly a good few that actually skipped past the hopper that they're supposed to be into. I don't really know if I want to be bothered too much with that, because realistically the iron farm is really good for what I need right now. And to be completely honest, I am planning to make an even bigger one than what I have right now. So I do have some soul speed on my boots over here, so I'll probably add that onto my boots to have all the enchantments. And I think the only thing that I'm actually missing is going to be swift sneak on my trousers, which actually I haven't been to an ancient city yet. Oh, and this is definitely not the end of the storage system. I do want to go down maybe 3 or 4 more chests, so to have like 5 or 6 kind of height. I do like to make this trickling chest, even though I like a really clean storage system. I feel like it's really annoying when I grab something from the bottom chest and then the chest doesn't actually refill because the hopper needs to be coming from the farm rather than from the chest above. So by having it this way, with kind of a trickling chest going down, it allows me to just take something from the bottom and the bottom one will always be refilled. It's not going to look as nice as a purely flat storage, but I feel like this, I can actually jump on top of it, which I don't really plan to make anything fancy around this. So it would allow me to grab from any chest if I really wanted to, but realistically I will always take from the bottom, and I can pretty much guarantee that the bottom one will always be stocked. So yeah, I think I used about half a stack of gold blocks or something like that. So I managed to get like almost 2 stacks of quartz, which is decent enough, a good bit of blackstone, a good bit of gravel, so I'm definitely gonna have to use a lot of this whenever I'm gonna be making concrete. I don't really know what else. Nether bricks, which is going to be really nice to have, especially when I'm gonna build a bit more into the nether. I can probably use these for a nether tunnel and they're not gonna burn. Then some soul sand over here. I don't really know what exactly I would use this for, but why not get it instead of just burning it? The leather, always nice to have. Some string, I definitely have enough. Then the obsidian and crying obsidian, they are unmovable blocks, so I could definitely would have used them here. Maybe I'll actually even replace this one with crying obsidian. Let's do it right now. I feel like it could give a bit of light if I put the crying obsidian over here. And it's gonna be unmovable as well, so it's gonna be really nice. Here we go. So it does add a bit of color over here rather than just plain boring obsidian. Got some spectral arrows, a good few iron nuggets actually, so it's gonna make a good bit of iron. and then a lot of potions. So I'm thinking to definitely extend these fire resistance ones, because 3 minutes doesn't feel like it's a lot. And I think that would be it pretty much. I don't think I have anything else. I will probably just extend this storage in between episodes, because the episode, I do believe it's getting a bit long. I've been rambling a lot, so I hope you guys enjoyed the bit more rambly episodes where I make a lot of progress, which doesn't really look like I did, but trust me, this actually took a very long time to put together the resources, especially that I don't really have farms for all these. So I'm definitely excited to build more farms, make more buildings, do more tunnels, and expand the world even more, because we're about 2 years in right now, day 1364, and honestly, the more I play into this world, the more ideas I get and the more excited I am to play in it. So I think this is pretty much it for the episode. So as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate all your support. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like and share your thoughts below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until next time, happy crafting!